speak to us as we discuss about how this porn is killing the love amongst us and in our families. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Alish, it's all yours.
Okay, good evening, people. I'm so glad that we could come together on this portal. I hope everybody can hear me. If you can hear me, just put your thumbs up. Great. So, first of all, I would like to thank the team that was given me the opportunity that we could talk about this. And it's never late, I would say. Let's just grab this opportunity and use it as much as possible to get to know and to understand what is killing us these days. Before I start, I would like to comment, hey, Matt, I really like your beard, by the way. Yeah, and even I had one. I had to shave it off, been asked to shave it off. Okay, so what are we talking today? We are talking today a drug which is very viral in our society, if you understand that. And the problem with this drug is that it has hardly been known or exposed. Okay, and the main problem is because of the cultural barrier that we face. Mostly this word porn is taken as a taboo. Do you agree? Nobody talks about pornography on a dining table, on a personal conversation, or in families. No parents talk about it to their children. And usually it is just found like on a roadside interview. You can just go and, get an information about it. And then here you go, you have started your journey with it. The problem is, it is a new drug which is introduced to our town. Now, when you talk about drugs, what do you think? What comes to your mind first? You might be thinking drug means, a small pill that we pop it in our mouth during the parties, or probably an injection full of cocaine or, drugs that you put it in your vein and get high, But then this is something which can affect your mind and heart and world and society, even your relationships to an extent. And this is called pornography. Now you might be wondering, what is pornography? Pornography is a clip which is full of nudity and exposing human body in its nakedness to the community. And it claims to say that it is giving an education and probably ek tarike ka baisakhi. Probably you can even say that it's a crutch, saying that I am just doing it, I'm just watching it because I want to have some pleasure. It is not a pleasure pill. It is a kill pill. It is a kill pill, guys. Moving on, how does it affect in our world? How does it affect the society? How does it affect us? Okay. If you talk about affecting, it affects the three major areas of our life. Number one is the brain, right? You might be wondering, how does it affect our brain? Is it going to give us a tumor? Is it going to give us something, that's going to put us down and, we'll be in coma or something? No, it's not like that. It breaks our imagination, guys. It breaks our imagination to a level that we will not be able to even understand who we are, our own personality. It's broken, okay? And second area which it affects is, it's our heart. It's our relationship, our emotions, our feelings, our way of dealing with people, the way we see each other. It affects those areas. Number three is the world, our society, which we will talk about further when we are in this journey together. Now, let me just start with the first stage, that is the brain. What does the brain do? It stores all the memory in your brain, right? It's all the memories that you have gone through, all the scenes that you have gone through, all the situations that you have faced. It actually stores in your brain. When you study a book, it stores in your brain, not in your heart, right? Am I right? Okay. So it stores in your brain. Anything that you eat, anything that you like, anything that makes you feel joyful, it stores in your brain. So basically, brain works as a store compartment. Whether it's a joy act, whether it is anything that you feel like doing it, It is about your study. It is about your skill, talent, work. It is stored in your brain. Think about a favorite food. For example, now if I talk about a nice KFC burger, especially in this lockdown, if I talk about it right now, or probably a Belgian waffle, amazing banana caramel Belgian waffle, you might be watering, right? Your mouth might be watering. Why? It's because when I talk about these certain foods at this moment, you can actually think about it when you last had it. Am I right? Am I right? Or probably even the games that you play, or probably even the writings that you do, or the novels that you read, or the books that you like to read, or even if it is a creative activity that you like to do, anything that makes you feel happy and joyful. If I talk about it, if you think right now, sitting here in this very moment, you will be able to remember the last time you did it. If you do, give me a thumbs up. You do? Okay. Why does that happen? It happens because these acts are stored in your brain when you did it for the first time. The things that we like to do, the things that makes us joyful, the things that make us feel happy about, these things are stored in our brain. How does the brain actually makes us to think about these things which we did in the past? It creates pathways. I'm not sure if you can follow the slide. Yes, you can follow the slide. It creates pathways in our brains. Pathway is like a road construction. Just say, for example, in our city, when there is a roadblock, what do? We take a diversion, right? We take a diversion. We do that. When we take a diversion, we are basically taking a diversion because we want to reach the place where we are heading to. So brain has many pathways in our, in this journey when we are thinking about the things that we like to do. So brain creates a pathway to reach the ultimate goal. Why? Why does it create a pathway? It creates a pathway because we love to do it again and again. Things that we do it again and again. For example, if I talk about a Cadbury chocolate, admit I'm really happy that we are in a lockdown because you can probably connect it, connect to what I'm saying. That is a chocolate. Hard to find a chocolate, or probably an Oreo chocolate. Let me make it more difficult for you to find it in the nearby stores. Yeah, Ferrero Rochers, anything that melts your mouth, anything. Okay. So when I'm talking about it, if for example you find it hard to find that chocolate in a nearby store and it's not a lockdown, you would find another ways to get to that chocolate. How? Because you know the way, and your brain will tell you, hey, if not here, Alish, you can find it somewhere there. Hey, Matt, if you can't find it here, you will find it there. Hey, Samuel, if you're not able to find it here, you can find it there. You understand? The joy, things that makes you feel joyful about, happy about, the brain will give you multiple pathways to reach that goal, to reach to that particular thing. Now, how does it happen? Let me introduce to the chemical chain called dopamine. I'm sure many of you guys might be really aware about this chemical called dopamine. Are you aware of the fact dopamine? Give me a thumbs up. You know what is dopamine? Dopamine is a chemical called the joy chemical. It is in your brain. Okay? It is in your brain. It is only secreted when you are feeling pleasured, when you are feeling happy, joyful about certain things. For example, when the first bite of the hamburger that you take in your mouth, when it's full of dripping cheese and sauce and all the chilies, when you take the sweetest chocolate in your mouth, the feeling that you get, yeah, that is called the secretion of dopamine. When you feel joyful about it, that dopamine secretes in your brain to a limited amount. Notify that to a limited amount. Okay, now that is a joy chemical. While this joy chemical has been secreted in your brain, it actually helps you to remember that particular moment, that exact particular moment where you actually enjoyed that particular food or the act for the first time. Okay, moving forward, what does dopamine do? It makes us do it again and again. Might find this picture a little funny. Hiding into your refrigerators and eating the food at night, right? What does it make you do? Because in the middle of the night, sometimes even I feel like having an ice cream. I am not an ice cream fan, but then if you give it for free, I will definitely have it. If it's in my refrigerator, I will definitely eat it, because I can't stay in my bed thinking that there's a chocolate ice cream sitting in my refrigerator. And Corona times, yes, of course, I really want to go grab it because I've been crying crazy because of the ice creams here. So you see, what does dopamine do? It makes you think again and again. Alish, there is something in your fridge. Alish, these are the things that you can do. Alish, you can play this PUBG game now. Why? Why is it hitting again? You guys, the young fellows, you know PUBG? Even I play PUBG. You know what we do? What do? We every time we want to get back to PUBG and just keep on. We want to just keep on playing, right? Why? Because it gives us joy. And every time you are just sitting idle, your brain will say, hey, it's been a while, why don't you just play the PUBG again? Hey, it's been a while, why don't you grab some chips? Hey, it's been a while, you have been doing this, now let's do this, let's find ways to do that, right? That's how it does it. The dopamine makes us do it again and again. Let me just let me just see what do people think. Which of these reward pathways do you think is more tempting? You might see a picture on your screen which is showing two pictures of two kind of food that you can see on your screen. What do you think is more appealing to you? The burger or the dal chawal?
Burger. The
The burger, is it? Well, let's go further. Let me see what you guys choose for further. What let's. Okay, now what do you think about this? What is more appealing?
first one.
The first one, the first one or the second one?
First one.
First one.
We'll go with first one. First one.
The first one.
First one.
The junk food.
Junk food. We'll go with junk food, no?
So it is. You might be calling me. You might be. I don't know. You might be really getting mad at me for showing you all these pictures right now because you. It's really hard to find this food, at considering that situation and city is locked down. But then I'm really sorry. I have to do it because I want to know which food actually makes your mind create the pathway in your brain. Now you understand why I showed you the picture. The moment I showed you the picture, it is actually making you remember of the times when you had it for the last time. Do you remember the last time when you had this food that you told that you really accept that yes, burger is the one which is appealing, right? Right? What does these pathways do? They hijack your brain. You know what's in a hijack? It's called capturing the brain, right? It hijacks your brain, and what happens is it will create those pathways even more so that you can reach out to a level that you will definitely want to grab that opportunity of having that burger no matter what, or no matter any kind of joy that you're finding to do. Now, this is what the porn does. Drugs and porn do the same. Now, you might be wondering, how can I relate it to the drugs, right? I'll tell you further. The drug and the porn does the same thing by hijacking your mind. We might be the one people who are condemning people saying that, hey, you know, he's a drug addict. You know, he takes drugs. He's into this, he's into that. You know, he's into LSDs, he's into stuff, you know. But it's a sad story that nobody even noticed about this kind of a drug that has been introduced into our society. You know how is it introduced into our society, guys? How many of you watch the Bollywood Indian cinemas? There are a lot of people from North India and South India. I would like to know how many of you have watched Bollywood movies or South Indian movies or whatsoever. If you watch, just give me a thumbs up. I don't want all of you guys to be unmuted. Or if not, then you can put it in the comment. Yes, yes, I can see that. That's fine. Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. So what is that one common thing that you find in the Bollywood movies these days? Wow. Somebody nailed it. Rubbish. Yeah, well, there's a point called soft porn that has been introduced into our community. We used to watch all of this in the Western movies, in the Hollywood movies, but now India is coming up with something like that called the soft porn. Now, what happens is in soft porn, you would see a woman uh, probably dressed up half naked and she's dancing in the midst of 1,000 men, which looks very cool. I don't know why, but let me ask you, the junction near your house, would you ever find a girl dancing like that? Or probably the corner side of your road when you walk to buy sabji or anything, any vegetable, do you find any girl dancing like that openly? Yes? No? No? Why? Why? Why don't you see that happening?
Because it's not acceptable.
Because it's not acceptable and it is not a real life.
They don't get paid for that.
They don't.
Get paid.
They don't get paid for that. Okay. Because reality has consequences. True. And because it's shameful. Like how one of the person said, it's awkward. Yeah, it's awkward and it's not acceptable, and it is not it is not a right thing to do in the society because they value themselves. Okay. Okay. But then if we cannot accept it happening in the real life, like it is like walking on the street and seeing a girl dancing like that, then what is the point of we watching it, paying a 200 rupee, going to watch a movie just to see a stuff like that? Most of the Indian films, they get succeeded because they have item songs in it. Because 60% of the community go watch it, and if possible, they download the movie on their screen, and they would like to reloop the whole act where they can see a little bit of the skin of the girl and they can take pleasure from it. Even the most contentful movies, even the real life based story movies also will have some gaon wala scene where the girl is dancing for no reason. And one or the other way, this is the way that the Bollywood industry and the industries are trying to put in this pill called porn into our life. And knowing the fact that we take it as a taboo, porn is not supposed to be spoken in our family. It is a chi-chi word. We cannot talk about it. And the problem is, guys, if Corona was not discussed, none of us will be sitting at home. We'll be just walking outside and getting infected. Am I right or wrong? But if it is discussed, that means we are taking precautions to be safe. Then why a thing like pornography is never been dealt? It is not dealt because our community is still living in that shell of understanding that it is a hush-hush talk and we cannot talk about it. And the day when we decide that it is not supposed to be talked about it, we are actually letting it affect our life without ourselves knowing about it. Our children, our kids are getting affected by it. I went to one of the schools here in Lucknow. It's a grand school. It's a huge school. It has around 30,000 students. And I went and approached the principal and I said, ma'am, I would like to talk to your students regarding the effects of pornography. It was my first assignment. And I was turned down saying that this highly educated principal telling me, pornography, our children, that really doesn't work. We don't want our children to come to know about pornography. Our kids, they will find and discover about itself when they're in the college. So we don't really want you to come and talk about it. Our children are safe. Talking about sexual abuse, they say, oh, sexual abuse, really? That hardly happened 2% of it in our families, in our country. I was taken back. You know what I want? I mean, she was my principal also. I wanted to tell her, ma'am, please, you need to do your homework. Guys, this is the real world. I would like to tell you about my story when I was addicted. You know, I was a kid. I was in class 6 when I got first addicted to pornography. Back in those days, I think it's 1996 or 5. I was reminded by my mom today. She was telling me that it was 1996 sometimes. My friend, he was my senior, I think, in class 7th. He was in class 7th. I was in class 6th. He took me to one of the grocery shops, like Parchun ka dukan. He said, "Wo wala card de do." He got me a card. It's a trump card. It's a trump card. Behind it, there is a picture of a naked girl. I'm a kid. I have never seen pornography. I've never seen a nude girl. And when I see this, I'm clueless. My brain is giving me 1,000 questions. I don't know what to do about it. Now this guy explains me what to do. What am I supposed to deal with my emotions? How am I supposed to deal with my emotions right now? I don't understand this. I'm feeling jitters in my body, which is unusual before my age. And I'm not able to understand what am I supposed to do with this. And suddenly he comes with the second card, a little more nude. And the third and the fourth. Then I was exposed to the CDs. Then I was exposed to my own brain. You know, this brain, guys, it is the greatest video player. And this video player doesn't need any cassettes. This video player only needs imagination. An imagination through which it can play itself. I watched pornography for the first time. The second time, I couldn't get my hands on any CD. You know what I did? I imagined myself and probably the neighbor girl who was just living beside me in that same picture, you know, and then I was masturbating. You know the effects, what it does on brain? Now you understand how the brain works, how it creates pathways. When you're not able to get access to the CD or the phone or the picture, now your brain is giving you pathways to even reach to that fake pleasure. I had this addiction till 2012, even when I was in Bible college. It was terrible. It was terrible. Can you hear me? I said I was enslaved.
Yes.
I said I was enslaved in my brain so badly that I would just find ways to see a little bit of skin of a woman so that I can get pleasure while I'm traveling, if I'm at home, if I'm at my relative's place, if I can get my hands on anybody's cell phone, because that time I was not allowed to have cell phones, or any picture in the magazine. I would just lock myself in the room and just want to get myself relieved through masturbation, you know, and thinking and imagining about women, ladies whom I knew in my real life, my own cousin sisters, you know. That's called enslaving of the brain. And that's called how the porn makes you go through those pathways to reach the point where it wants you to be. What does an addict do? What does an addict do? He looks for more pornography. It's sad to say, it might be wrong to say, saying that, hey, I just watched once, how does it harm? But let me tell you, once you watch a pornography scene, it will definitely leave an impact in your brain. You are not a robot. You know, God has not made us a robot that it can be erased. Things stay in our mind. I'll tell you one of the confessions of one of the ex-porn addict. He said, porn addiction works in this way. It's on TikTok. You can go and check it out. He said, once I was getting back home from my work, I reached my home. My wife was watching a reality show. And she said, hey, I'm watching a reality show, honey. Why don't you come and sit with me? He says, hey, my soccer match is going to go. Why don't you just put that? She says, no, you always watch a soccer match, you know. I would want you to come sit with me and just watch for some time. And this was a reality show where the dance is happening, you know, dance competition was happening. He sits there for 20 seconds. He says, hey, I'm really tired. I need to go take a shower. He walks into the shower. He's standing right beneath that shower. Can you tell me what is he thinking? Can you tell me what is he thinking? He's thinking about that 20-second of time that he spent sitting with his wife, watching that reality show, which he was least interested about. He's standing there and thinking, if I was in the show, how would I do it? So if a least interested show can make you think about the thing that you actually watched on your own wish. We'd be saying it's just a 3.5 minutes clip, saying that, hey, it's fine. It's just a 3 minutes clip. Doesn't really matter. It's okay. But the reality is the impact of it stays lifelong. And it's slowly like a parasite. It will start depending on your brain. It will start eating up your brain, your heart, your relationship, your concentration, your motivation, your productivity, your fidelity, and everything will start breaking slow by slow. And you will not be able to know because we have not talked about pornography yet. What kind of a damage does it do to the brain? In scientific terms, it says, Dr. Jeffrey, he says, it is though we have devised a form of a heroin 100 times more powerful than before, usable in the privacy of one's own home, injected directly to the brain through the eyes. It is 100 times more powerful than the drugs that we take. You know what happens to the drug addicts? They're not high about putting the needles through their veins. They're not high about taking that pill into their throat. They're not high about snorting all that powder into their nose. No, it is not about that. The after effects of it, the high that they get, the joy and the pleasure that they get, and through which the excessive amount of dopamine which has been released in their brain, and that feeling is something which they crave for, and every time they want more and more. You understand? You understanding my point? So when we look at the drug addict, if you keep the drugs away, it is not that. It might look like as if the heroin is a problem, the drug is a problem. Drug and heroin is just the means. Everything is happening in here, guys. Now, pornography, what does it do is, it is giving you the same pleasure, probably 100 times more than the drugs, through your eyes, by just watching it. They say teenagers have around 10 times more dopamine secretion, teenagers from the age of 12 to 19. And pornography helps them secrete around 30 times more dopamine in their brain. And excessive secretion of dopamine in the brain will damage your decision-making compartment of your brain. I will come to the symptoms soon. Now, reality versus the fake. What do we understand by the reality versus the fake? We introduction to the fake world and disconnecting us from the real world. What we see on the pornography is actually fabrication truth. Do you get me? It's a fake truth that we get to see in that 5.5 screen for the 3.50 seconds or the minutes. You know, every time we watch that pornography, we think whatever is happening in that scene is so real. It is not. It is fabricated. It is made for the pleasure of people so that they can watch it, they can consume it. There are 3 pictures that I'm going to post further. I think, yeah, I'm so sorry, ladies. Please don't take it personally. I just wanted to make a point. That's why we are using this. So please don't take it personally. I'm really sorry. Just wanted to know, guys, and the girls, whom do you find more attractive? From the 3 girls, whom do you find more attractive? You can say 1, 2, 3.
Third one.
Third one, the Japanese schoolgirl.
Yeah.
Third one. 3.
3? Oh, great.
We also third. Third one is mom. She's
2. Ah, 3. I like the first kind of view. Okay. The ones who said 3, I would like to know why 3.
She's very attractive.
She's very attractive. She got a
Beautiful.
and she's got a fair skin,
Good makeup.
hair with her big eyes. Draws attention. Oh, yeah, 3 is a standard definition of beauty. Wow. Anything else?
Her lips.
Her lips. I can hardly see her lips.
She is beautiful.
Probably the way she's posing, probably the way she's dressed, right? More appealing to eyes. Okay, more appealing to eyes, yeah. Okay. But who knows? In reality, she might not be looking like this. What if she has braces? What if all that we see here in the third picture is just fake? It's just makeup. You know, makeup can do anything, right? Right? It can turn me into Salman Khan anything. Right? So, what do you think? We are made to believe in the unreal. That is what the pornography does. That is what the entertainment department does. That is what this media does. That is what exactly this whole industry does to make us believe in the unreal. The porn industry is all about it. It says that it is giving you education on sex, but it is not. It is not. They seem, if you see the slide, it says they seem to have a great time no matter what happens, but it's not. Makes you believe that no one has needs, no opinions, no feelings. Makes you believe if one fails to satisfy it, then there you go. You have another choice. If one pornography is not giving you a satisfaction, you can always go for the further one. I'll tell you one incident. Do you guys know about the Nirbhaya rape case? You heard about it? The 7 men who raped a girl in the bus? Yeah. Can you tell me what were they doing before committing this rape? इस रेप को करने से पहले वे क्या कर रहे थे? पी रहे थे?
Yeah, they must have been watching porn. Yeah.
I think look on videos देख रहे थे.
They were watching porn. They were watching a rape porn. They were watching a hard rape porn, which is one of the confessions by one of the perpetrator who did this, and he says we were watching a rape porn and we were completely were taken by the drinks and we didn't know what to do, and when we saw this girl sitting there we just wanted to do it. 2-minute ka rape porn, a 2-minute rape porn video can make you do things like that. Think about how it is affecting our life and on an everyday basis. We set our standards on unrealistic expectations. लड़कियां हमें प्रियंका चोपड़ा बनना है. We want to be Priyanka Chopra. We want to be Jacqueline Fernandez. We want to be Katrina Kaif. We want to be this and that. Hey, let me ask you one question, girls. If any guy is going to walk up to you saying, looking at your beauty, you should turn that down. If any guy is going to come and approach you saying that I love you the way you look, I want to marry you, he needs some work on himself. What the problem is, in this generation, we try to present ourselves not as we are. We try to present ourselves who we are not. Girls have the expectation of unrealistic expectations. The guys have this unrealistic expectations from their spouses. If you can see that picture of a He-Man and the Barbie, can you see that picture of the He-Man and the Barbie? Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to watch He-Man a lot. Yeah. Want to be a He-Man someday. And some girls want to be a Barbie someday. This is the standard set by these industries in our life. If you don't look pretty, if you don't look beautiful, you're not acceptable. Some people are genetically short, they want to be tall. Some people are genetically thin, they want to be huge. Like me, I was thin. I always had an ambition to gain some weight. You know, all these unrealistic expectations, and we take these expectations, what we see on this 5.5 screen, and we take it and try to put it as a frame in the real person's life. But is that just? Tell me, kya ye nyay hai? Huh? When you take these unrealistic expectations in your hand and you go and take it as a frame and try to see a girl, talking from the guy's perspective, I see, oh, ye ladki fit nahi hui, this girl doesn't fit in that frame, I need to check more. Okay, that doesn't fit. Okay, this doesn't fit. And we keep going on and on and on. And on that basis, we keep judging people. We even forget that somebody else is doing the same to us. Pornography makes us feel the unrealistic truth, which is not going to help. Real world is the real world. A porn addiction makes you ignore what your partner is actually wanting from you. The real need, the emotion, the pleasure, the touch, the emotional connection, the talks. When you watch porn, what you see in pornography is what exactly we try to do with our spouse, which is very unrealistic. And when we don't get that kind of an aggression and pleasure, what we try to do is we try to find it somewhere else. If not possible in a humanly standard, then we stick to the pornography. Many of the marriages are broken because the guy or the girl was addicted to pornography. It's not because of them watching it. It's not because of the trust. It's because they were never satisfied in their spouses. Now you can ask yourself, why is it wrong to even talk about pornography in this generation? This generation is a 5G generation, guys. The mobile phones are even in the hands of a 2-year-old baby, watching anything. And we will not know sooner or the later the calamity is going to strike us, and we will not be able to talk about it. We will not be able to stop it. Abhi to schools mein datna band hua hai. The schools have issued that you cannot hit a child. Soon it's going to be like the parents even can't hit a child and talk about anything. They will talk about their rights. It's better we talk about it now. It's better we deal with this issue right away than delaying it and waiting for the worst time to enter. How does it work? Let me tell you one of the stories of one of a few scientists who actually did a trick on butterflies. How many of you like butterflies here? Like butterflies? Yeah, butterflies. They're beautiful, right? They're colorful. Huh? You know what they did? They had a room full of butterflies. Okay. Now, what the male butterfly does is it tries to mate with a colorful, beautiful butterfly, female butterfly. So just to check, what would they do? These scientists, they made a cardboard. They cut a cardboard and created an artificial butterfly, but much more beautiful, with much more beautiful colors on it, and placed it in between that butterflies. Guess what happened? All the male butterflies left the real ones and tried to mate with the cardboard. What does it mean? How easily we get drawn to the unrealistic, how easily we get drawn to the fake, how easily we get drawn to that pleasure of unrealistic expectation, seeing that, oh, it looks beautiful, it looks nice. Yes, but it is only in the 5.5 scale. In real life, it is not like that. It is not like that. I'll give you a small introduction to the porn industry. It takes 45 minutes for one porn click, for the one porn flick to be shot, and it takes at least 3 days of filming for that 45 minutes. So in the 3 days, the girl is going through a trauma, excessive beating, excessive drugs, and excessive demeaning and putting down and all that. in this world, sex trafficking is happening only because there's an excessive hike in demand of pornography. There are a few confessions of ex-porn stars. We are running short of time, so you can probably have the slide from me. You can use that. I'll go to the statistics. What India stands right now. Let's go to the statistics. The current porn statistics shows India is the 5th highest consumer of porn in the world. College students in India, 80% they said they watch pornography, and 20% they said they don't, which might be, I don't know. Porn viewers around the world is 18.35 billion. Porn viewers in India is 2.43 million. And under age of 13 children watch pornography, that is around 48.6 million. Where are we? Right? And most of the mediums that they use is TV, computers, and now the easiest thing that we have is with a high octa-core processor, with the Snapdragons and with external GVs and all that, we have this smartphone 5.5 screen. We have everything in it. We have Wi-Fi's, unlimited Wi-Fi's. We can anytime do any kind of thing that we want. And we are exposing our children to it. Right? Statistics of the lockdown period, 90 days, just 90 days in the year of 22. 3 weeks of lockdown. Pornography in India has hiked 95%. That means now, at the present, India is on the top countries who have viewed pornography. Samuel was giving me one of the stats saying that they have actually broke open all the locks of the of the pornography sites so that people can stay home. All the nude advertisements which were blocked on YouTube are now visible. 95%, guys, in just 3 weeks. Can you see the hike? India seems to be leading the world in the pornography consumption. It has recorded 95% spike in traffic to adult sites during the 3 weeks of lockdown. 71% of the teens hide the online behavior from the parents. Nearly 27% of the teens receive sex. Sex means sexual texts from their couple, or probably even the adult sites that you use, sex chat sites that you use. There are many sex chat mediums, like for example Tinder. There are ample. There are paid and there are non-paid versions where you meet random people. You can have sex chat with them just to feel that pleasure. And around 15% are sending them, and 57% of teens reach out porn at least monthly. I used to be the person who concentration even in studies. I could not sit in a class for more than 5 minutes. I could not concentrate. My mind would just throw out of the window, thinking about when can I reach home and when can I shut my room and when can I masturbate, and thinking about these things. I used to masturbate like 5 times a day, and that had broke my brain badly. It takes a while for me to make a decision, even now. Guys, it's a war. It's a war when you walk into it. It's very easy to say, "Arey, theek hai, ek baar dekh liya," but कहते हैं कि there's a complete healing to it. There's no complete healing to it. It's a war. You have to fight it. If you step into it, you will have to fight it till your entire life, because the body is going to stay the same. Your mind is going to stay the same. You need to protect it on an everyday basis. You getting me, guys? Porn and marriage. 68% of divorces cases involve one party meeting a new lover over the internet. Why? Because the person is either a pornography addict, or because of pornography, the person is not able to feel the sexual pleasure from the person. Again, walking with the frame, right? 56% involved with one party having an obsessive internet pornographic websites. 70% of the wives of sex addict would be diagnosed with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's not a game. In my marriage, even now, I feel that pressure because if I have to be intimate with my wife, I need to think 1,000 times, not my brain to put me into that flashback of pornography scenes that I used to watch. It's a fight. It's a deadly fight. We break our relationships. We don't want to commute. We don't want to communicate with people. We don't want to socialize. We want to just lock ourselves down in the room and just be by ourselves. Our concentration is gone. Our confidence is broken. Our success is gone down the line. Everything is on a stake. Why? Just for this pill called pornography? And yet we don't want to talk about it. Pornography in church. 1 in 5 youth pastors and 1 in senior pastors, 1 in 7 senior pastors who have been regularly struggling on the with the pornography. I'm not saying pastors are like saints and they're supposed to be pure, but then all I'm saying is all have weaknesses, right? Everybody is weak. We need to help each other with that. Talking about it really helps the person to talk about it. When we make the person comfortable about it, okay, hey, you can talk about it. That's when actually the healing starts. 43% of senior pastors and youth pastors say they have struggled with pornography in the past. 64% of Christian men, 15% of Christian women say hey, they have watched porn at least once in a month. Now you might be wondering, many of the times when I have taken the session with other people, they usually tell me that, oh, it's a problem of men. Hello, it's not. It's not just that. There are women. It says the women are the ones who watch pornography the most. It's not highlighted. But that's what the stats say. So it is not just a fight about men. It is a fight of this humanity. And it is getting degraded. It is getting filthy. It is getting bad because we as human beings, knowing the fact that it is not right, yet we are not ready to fight for it. Yet we are not ready to discuss about it. The sad part is only 7% of the churches have said that they have certain programs for the people who are struggling with pornography. Only 7% around the world. Each and every one of you who are sitting here and taking this session right now, including me, it is our responsibility now to take this word out, right? To take this word out and make sure we help people out with this. The moment we are going to keep quiet about it and shy away, it's not going to help. Yes, I understand. We have been brought up in a very cultural, Sanskritic view. I understand that. But then, if we are going to hold on to that, this is someday going to kill us for sure. And we will not be aware about it. And when we will come to be aware about it, we are dead. We are already in a deep pit. We cannot get ourselves out from it. Let me talk about some stages that you could see in the terms of, before I come to the stages, I would like to talk about some symptoms that you would usually see in a porn addict. Okay, Tina, how much time do I have? Oh, great. Okay. So symptoms are loss of concentration. Number one is a loss of concentration. If you are an addict, if you see that pattern in yourself that if you are able to work for exactly like, if you could write, for example, if you're a writer, if you're a reader, if you could read for at least 5 or 6 hours, but now you're not even able to concentrate for even 2 hours or probably even half an hour, means there is something wrong. And if you know that you watch porn, I'm talking about the people who are actually saying watching pornography is not a problem. Lack of concentration. Number 2, depression, drop in your mood. People who face that suddenly you feel your mood is not right. There's mood swings happening in you. Pornography can make you to lead in a phase where you will have these mood changes. Number 3, lack of romance. There's no attraction. It is wrong to assume that porn actually helps your sexual life. It is not like helping your sexual life. Like I said, you are walking with a pre-structured frame of a companion into your real life and putting it in front of your spouse, saying that yes, she doesn't fit in this category because you are watching something which is so not real. You getting me? You guys, you getting me? Right? Lack of achievement. There are many people who lack achievements because of the addiction of pornography. You know, the tasks they would like to do, the things that they would like to do, the sports they would like to play, the achievements that they would have about their business plans and their career. You know, we'll be shortly hearing to Samuel. I mean, his story is amazing in this. Whatever symptoms I'm talking about, probably you can get a get a live feedback from his life, how he was affected by pornography. And it talks clearly, very, very clearly, and like how the achievement part has been broken, how you wanted to be successful in your life now because pornography has grasped your life. All that you want to be is only revolving about pornography, sexual pleasure, in time, out time. You're just thinking about the same forever and ever. All that your goals, everything that you had, all the plans that you had is now on stake. You're not able to meet those plans. You're not able to reach that goal. It's only because pornography has captured the mind. You're not able to concentrate. You don't have a right mood to work. You don't have any inspiration. You don't want to talk to people. You're not becoming social. All this can bring you to a point where you don't achieve anything in your life. Fifth is something which I would make it very clear, which I've seen in my own life, is a low energy. I don't want to be sounding like one a drug addict saying that, hey, how does it make me on a low energy? It happens because your sleeping patterns are broken. You spend your night watching just pornography, and your sleeping patterns are broken. Your eating habits are broken. You are not social. Your concentration is gone. You're constantly having mood swings. And probably for the people who hit gym, like in an 18-hour day, you can hit a gym for 2 hours, but now you can hardly maintain yourself there for at least 1 hour, and you get tired quickly. You know, these are some of the symptoms which hit a natural body of a man and women who are exposed to pornography. There are a few stages of changes that you can see. There are 5 stages, and no, there are 4 stages. And those stages which you will see is kind of a stage which will help you understand where do you stand, where can you see yourself standing in terms of addiction, and where can you see yourself standing in terms of recovering from. Stage 1 is the survival stage. Can you hear me? Survival stage. It can last from 3 to 12 months. Okay, this survival stage can last from 3 to 12 months. It should be like you should be able to control over your internet devices. For example, if you use cell phone, if you're using laptop, and if you're using anything anything that is helping you to watch pornography or able to access those sites which can easily give access to pornography, you should have a control over this at least from 3 months to 12 months. Do you get me? Change in your location. For example, people who are working from home, who have systems at home, if you have a system at home, try to change the location of that system and put it in more public place where people can see you, and get all the passwords off from your laptop so that people can have access to it, and all your accounts so that people can have access to it, so that they can see what you're watching, so that there will be no chance that you would be falling into it in secrecy. Okay. Purpose of this stage is to build a solid foundation for your porn-free life. Do you get me? The purpose of the stage 1 is to build a solid foundation. We need to have a solid ground to what we are doing, so that foundation can be built up and overcoming your addiction can be seen in the future. Am I clear? Am I clear? Okay. And you can find success in this stage. You can only graduate in this stage by withdrawing yourself from all kind of masturbation and all kind of porn use, and you have dealt with it, at least controlled yourself for minimum 3 months. Until unless you see yourself succeeding in that level, you should keep following the stage. Stage number 2, and before I come to the stage number 2, we need to pass this stage, okay? And before passing this stage, we need to deal with the two major issues. One is denial. If we deny that we have a problem, we can never get resolved from this situation. You need to actually accept that, yes, I do have a problem and I need to work on it. Number 2 is resistance, taking care of your problem and working towards it, having a heart and having a persistence to work towards it. Stage 2, it's called stability. It at least ends for 6 to 12 months, okay? The time gap is 6 to 12 months. You should have a deep understanding of your relationship with pornography, how it is affecting you, how it deals with you, how it is taking over you. At least you should have that idea. At least you should have the understanding how much it is affecting you. That is called the relationship between you and the porn. And develop a daily routine which will help you recover. You understanding? Making a daily routine which will help us recover. Daily routines like probably gym or probably art. Anything that will make you to recover from it. And make sure that this daily routine should not be like this. For people who like to work out, you should not be waking up in the morning and saying, hey, I am fighting this pornography right now. That is why I need to recover. And that is why I'm waking up in the morning. No, you should make sure that it is becoming an habit in your life. Your routine that you are actually building should turn into a habit in your life. And then we walk to the stage 3. It's called the maintenance. Okay. The maintenance will last for 1 to 3 years. Okay. The maintenance lasts for 1 to 3 years. You should become absolutely honest about your sexual life. You should be able to be honestly, you should be honest about your sexual life, and you should be able to define it on a basis saying that, yes, I do have this problem, and yes, I'm recovering from it. And yes, even in the relationship with your spouse, even in the relationship with any girl or a guy, you should be able to clarify and tell openly that, yes, I am facing with this. And yes, this is my sexual life at this moment. Here you're kind of ready to make a move from your accountability partner or a therapist that you are actually meeting. If a counselor, for any instance, if you're taking help from any counselor, in this stage of stability or maintenance, you should be able to withdraw from your accountability partner and rely on yourself to work in this recovery. And the 4th stage is mastering. It takes 2 to 3 years to win this, and can get only if you have withdrawn from watching pornography to a limit where it have at least able to, you are at least able to be stable for 2 to 3 years, and you have not masturbated, you have not watched porn, you have been away from all the sexually explicit videos or clips and websites, and you are able to control yourself with the build-up motivational habits that you have got built in yourself to recover. And all these things should work together to be stable and to show that you are mastering in your recovery, right? One of the things that I've seen is the most that helps people to recover is to try to find help. Okay. If you think that you can help yourself alone, no, you cannot. There might be questions, there might be people who are asking in their minds, hey, I want to get away from pornography. I want to get healed from pornography. How does it help? Is there any pill that I can take? Is there any meditation that I can do? Is there anything that I can achieve or do or go to so that I can get away from pornography? No, you need to take help. A help from a wise person. A help from a person who can check on you, question you, an accountability partner, right? If not, at least try to find some counselors. We have, I think one of our counselors have joined this session with us, Sister Janet and Pastor Gibson. We attend their church, and they're amazing counselors. They have an organization called Open Hearts. So if you want, personally, if you feel free, please find yourself. You can talk to them. We can provide you their number. You can just talk to them, or emails. Through emails, get help. But then it is really important, guys, that we take help. It is not a fight that you can fight alone. It is never. I tried it. I tried to hide it. I tried my best to hide it. But back in college, somebody really helped me. And it was a God's grace that person came along with me to Tagashi also, and I was able to help myself with that addiction and building up new habits. Trying to, if you're a musician, try play more music. If you're an athlete, workouts can really help you. It helps you to, drain your brain stress and everything down, and it can make you function well. So there are habits that you can build. Be more social. Try to meet people, try to talk to them, and try to interact with them. All this can help you in finding. These are called basically a coping skills, and these will help you to recover on a slow basis. If you ask me, how long will it take to recover? I don't know. I just know if you take a step ahead, it will definitely reach you to recovery. But it will only happen if you are persistent and if you are ready to fight that fight. It is a decision that we need to make. Well, it is a very good thing if we can ponder on God's word, and take that word in his heart. Psalm 119:11 says, I have stored up your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. Right? God's word really helps. If the time we spend with God, meditation, it really helps us to think properly, think right. Some moral guidelines that we need to get in our life that really helps us, right? So with all of this, I would like to wind up, and all I want to say is keep up the good fight. It's a fight. It's going to be forever till you die. This body is going to be with us. This mind is going to be with us. All that we can do is keep fighting it. If you're in this fight, if you have fallen in it, if you have walked into this, then I would say keep fighting it. There's no disappointment. The day you realize that it is a fight and I need to fight it, definitely there is success which is going to reach your doorstep very soon. All you need to do is be patient. Be patient with yourself. Never think that you are pathetic, you are dirty, you are demeaned. No, it's not like that. It's an addiction. It's a weakness that has struck you. It is okay. Everybody's weak. We all are weak. But all we need to know is God has created us in his image. And if he is capable of creating us in his image, he knows how to take away that dirt in you, that flaw in you, and that weakness in you. He will take it away for sure. All that you need to do is be patient. Trust in him and trust in yourself too. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Alish. It's an amazing session. A lot of things that we are already